Everyone has been raving about just how good version 12.3 is in Tesla's full self-driving beta, and they are absolutely right. I put out a number of videos showing just how good this driving is with V12. However, there is a feature that also came out with V12 that isn't getting talked about much, and I think this feature is the dark horse star of V12, and I want to dig into it. With V12, Tesla also introduced a new feature called automatic set speed offset. It's a simple switch buried at the bottom of the autopilot menu, and it's easy to miss. However, when you turn it on, the car will behave very differently when using FSD compared to what you're used to. According to the Tesla pop-up, automatic set speed offset allows autopilot to drive at a speed that it determines is the most natural. This considers factors like road type, traffic flow, environmental conditions, speed limit, and the selected full self-driving profile setting that you have set, which can be either chill, average, and assertive. Now, before I get into why this feature is an absolute game changer, let me tell you how this worked prior to this update. Now, in the past, Tesla had two different ways of setting the speed when autopilot or FSD is engaged. By default, it would set the speed to the speed limit for the road that you are on at the time. However, you could also tell the car you wanted to offset that speed by a certain mile per hour over or a set percentage over. Now, the manual set speed offset seems to have disappeared recently, and you only now have the choice of choosing percent. Now, what this means is that whenever the speed limit sign changed, the speed in your car would change to that fixed value based on simple math. After using the automatic set speed offset, I've come to appreciate just how much of a game changer this feature is and how this is yet another step toward fully autonomous vehicles. When this switch is first turned on, it feels a little disconcerting. You can't change the speed at all in your car. The car is just set to what the car thinks it should do. In the past, you had hand control over the set speed by being able to move the scroll wheels up and down. When this feature is turned on, those scroll wheel buttons simply do not work. So now it's up to the car to figure out what is the right speed. And from my experience, it gets it right almost all the time. And it feels like there's almost a human driving at times. The best way for me to demonstrate this is to just show you some examples. When you think about setting your speed, you typically think about going over the speed limit. This is common. Many people generally run about 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. However, with the automatic set speed offset, or ASO for short, it will do certain things in certain situations. If the general flow of traffic is going faster than the posted speed limit, the car will do a pretty good job in making that adjustment. In fact, I've seen it go as much as 11 miles an hour over with a 35 mile an hour posted speed limit. Now, that might be because my driving profile is set to assertive. Perhaps it wouldn't be that aggressive if I had it set to a different setting. It will also drive slower if it feels like it should. That seems counterintuitive, but let me tell you that there are a number of roads where I live where I feel that the posted speed limit is just too darn high. One of them is right in front of my house where it is set to 45 miles an hour. And I can tell you that when you drive 45, it is flat out just too fast for where I live. Now, you can just feel it when you're driving naturally. You naturally drive at a speed that makes sense, and driving on this road at 45 doesn't make sense. And when the old FSD system was used, it would just jump to that X percentage over 45, and frankly, that made it even worse. Now, with this new setting, it seems to make the right choice, and I don't know how it does it. It actually slows down to a speed that I would consider reasonable, even if there is no traffic. So does it use past drive data from other Teslas that have driven on these roads? Frankly, I have no idea. I just think this shows a level of driving intelligence that has never been seen before in a Tesla. It goes further than this, and it fixes a problem that I've had with FSD and autopilot for a long time. In the old way of doing things, the speed will not change in a car until you meet the actual speed limit sign. You have to be right up on it and passing it before your car will actually make the speed change. Now, with the automatic set speed offset turned on, it appears to look forward. Now, here's a section of road that is 35 miles an hour, and it transitions to 45. And you can see that it changes the speed limit to 45 ahead of the sign, and it even accelerates to 45 prior to actually getting to the sign. And this type of behavior is exactly what you would do if you were driving it yourself. For me, this is quite impressive. It's natural. It really helps build confidence in the system that this car is actually making the right choices when it's driving by itself. Now, as much of the praise that I'm giving this right now, it is not perfect. I've seen some roads where it does go too slow. However, if you just goose the accelerator pedal a little bit, it seems to come up to the right speed. There's also a case where the car is misreading a highway sign that says 151 as 15 miles an hour, and in that case, the speed actually drops way too slow, and any amount of pushing on the gas will not make the car think it needs to go any faster by itself. Now, these negatives are very minor, and I would overall give this feature a solid A- for a 1.0 feature, and I highly expect that this will continue to improve as more drive data is fed back into the Tesla supercomputers. What do you think? Do you like this new feature? Do you hate it? Well, like it or hate it, it appears to be here to stay, and for now you can turn it on and off. And I expect at some future date, the use of this feature will likely become mandatory. Now, while Teslas are not fully autonomous yet, you can already see that the automatic speed set offset is going to be a key piece of cracking the full self-driving code. Now, before I sign off, please do me a favor and tap that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscriptions are always welcome. Also, if you're looking to get into the full self-driving revolution and pick up a Tesla of your own, make sure you use a referral link to get free features and save money. Use any referral link you want, but if you want to use mine, that would be great. With that, thanks so much for watching, and go out and let your car drive for itself.